requires physical strength to hold the jackhammer, to keep it steady, etc.
And are you saying women are incapable of having physical strength?
No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm truly stronger than women.
However, if a woman puts her mind to it and tries very hard, she could still have a job similar to a man's.
Trans women are more women and more feminine than any woman in this room. Like they take their womanisms very seriously.
Womanisms? What is that?
They take being like a feminine like a fucking job. Most women don't even care about looking at.
What the fuck is she talking about? What's up, y'all? Welcome to Exhausted Truth, where I am your host, and I'm very exhausted from always having to tell the goddamn truth. But hey, someone's got to do it. All right, y'all. Hey, look, if you ever wonder why, not that you are, why I do this content, well, quite frankly, the shit makes itself. All right? I try to add whatever I can, but the content makes itself. Y'all ready for this?
Like a law. Or whatever. There was not a law on the book saying women couldn't work.
I know that.
Okay.
However, if you look at what was going on, it was not common for women to work. It was actually discouraged. You were seen as less than if you had a job such as that, because your entire job was supposed to be marrying a man and having children.
Do you think that women wanted to work back then, or did they want to build families?
They were taught to want to build families.
Is that a bad thing?
I mean,
to
in
her
the
it
grand
is.
scope of what's happening in the world, then yeah. Everyone should have been taught to be equal. Men should take care of the family as much as women, and women should work, and so should men. Everyone should work. Women should have time off for giving birth and pushing a whole human out of them, for sure. But it shouldn't be a normalized thing that women shouldn't have to work at all, and men should only have to work, because if you enforce that, then companies only want to hire men and not women. And then women who don't have husbands are seen as less than a woman who has a husband or a man attached to her. And that just reinforces the entire idea of the patriarchy. Of course, women were able to work. They were seen as less than, they were paid less than, and they were just discriminated against if they tried to work.
They were paid less because it wasn't as hard of a job as the men did.
Because they weren't allowed to have as hard of a
Hey, I wasn't sure if Brian or one of these females was going to step in first. I thought it would be Brian over one of these women, but I'm so happy it was one of the females. I don't know about y'all, but I find it so much more funny when one of the fellow female cast members calls out one of the other ones, right? And this was no different. I love it.
jobs.
Listen, if you...
No, wait, hold on.
Oh, she was ready to go in.
Women literally couldn't do the jobs.
Yeah. They could, but they were not as allowed as.
Hold on. Do you think women have the same physical strength as men?
Right.
They could.
Yeah.
No.
Honey,
No.
Yeah, but
it's physically known that.
Here, tilt your mic down, please. Tilt your mic down.
But in today's world, strength doesn't even matter. We have machines.
But your claim was about historical work,
okay.
where physical strength.
Coal mining, women can do that. Building, women.
Oh, the delusion is strong with this one. Oh my God. What women in the past were wanting to do fucking coal mining, they don't want to do it now with the machines. I don't see this bitch in the coal mines. We have these machines. I still don't see her ass in the coal mines right now. I wonder what she does for a living. Oh my.
Women can do that.
What?
Hold on, no. Women don't have the requisite general strength to do a lot of these professions.
If it
was true, why?
She's like, what?
If men and women's physical strength was equal, then they would be in these positions.
Women have to work harder to gain more muscle. That is true. It's easier for men to gain muscle and be stronger. However,
okay, go ahead.
In the coal mines, in the buildings, in whatever, women can still have jobs there. Not everything is based off of physical strength.
Are machines not taking over men and women's jobs?
Well, we're talking about before machines, right?
You're talking historically, a lot of this machinery still today that makes physical labor easier still requires a degree of physical strength to operate.
But you think
like a
women
jackhammer,
can't have physical strength?
Instead of swinging a pickaxe to break up stones, we have.
All right, my bad. I had to make some small adjustments and rewind just a little bit because I couldn't see the TTS or whatever at the bottom.
Labor easier still
Fixed
requires a degree of physical strength to operate.
But you
like
think
a
women
jackhammer,
can't have
like
physical strength?
instead of swinging a pickaxe,
It's not saying shit,
to,
but
like break up stones. We have like jackhammers, but that it requires physical strength to hold the jackhammer, to keep it steady, etc.
And are you saying women are incapable of having physical strength?
No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that generally speaking, and I'm assuming you're going to agree with me on this. Generally speaking, men are stronger than women, descriptively.
In science, men are able to gain more muscle mass than women.
They're just naturally stronger than women.
However, if a woman puts her mind to it and tries very hard, she could still have a job similar to a man's.
And how
We
many
could withstand more pain.
Why is transgender athletes such a controversy now if you think men and women have equal physical strength?
Well, I don't think transgender should be in a women's sport at all.
Yeah,
that's true. No argument there. But also, she said that if a woman put her mind to it and she tried hard enough, she can have a job similar to a man. Even if that's the case, what would this be? What would this be? A few outliers? You know, a few anomalies within the entire fucking population of women? What's the point of that in the first place? What's the point of making an argument where only anomalies, really, or very select few women would even be up to the task? What's the point of making that fucking argument? It's delusion. That's what that argument stems from.
That's
straight
that's
delusion.
definitely everyone's opinion. But the reason why it's such a controversial topic is because these transgender women, they still have more physical strength because they were born as men. So
she was right. It's depending on when they decided to transition. If they transitioned at a certain time, they never developed those men aspects, and they always develop only women aspects.
I mean,
I know a lot of trans women.
If a man starts transitioning at 11, they don't have the male physical strength that gives them an advantage in some sort of a sport.
I mean, I would probably dispute this because my position on this is that the sole difference between men and women is not exclusively relegated to the endocrine system. So what you're talking about is if they're taking puberty blockers. Okay. But like there's skeletal differences, there's other differences like lung capacity, for example. So again, even if they do transition at a younger age, yes, that will have some impact on the musculoskeletal system, but there are still going to be certain differences between
trans women are more women and more feminine than any woman in this room. Like they take their womanisms very seriously.
Womanisms? What is that?
They take being like a feminine like a fucking job. Most women don't even care about looking at.
What the fuck is she talking about? What is she talking about? And you know why? Do you understand why a man who's transitioning to be a woman, right? You know why they would take it more seriously? Because it's fucking artificial. First of all, you still gonna have that man musk, so you gonna have to fucking go in extra, right? Because women, women can stink, but I'm just saying, like a lot of women, sometimes like my wife when she like sweats and shit, man, she don't smell nearly as bad as I do. All right, and I'm not a stinky motherfucker. I'm just saying, men they got that man musk and all this shit, and it's artificial. They're betraying something that they've seen and they think they understand. Right? A man doesn't know what it takes to be a woman, but he's going to think in his brain, he's going to have an idea of what that means. And a lot of times, that's why sometimes when you see certain gay dudes and they're just super extra, right? They're super extra, super flamboyant, super this. It's because they're portraying this thing that they think it is what it is, but it's not. When you're a man pretending to be a woman, right? And you can transition and have the surgery all you want. You're pretending. And when you're pretending, you're going to have this false reality or this false image of what it is that you're pretending to be. And that's why they're so extra and so extra fucking feminine. Because women don't have to try. Women are women.
So are you gonna argue that trans women are more women, like they're better women than women? So you're saying men are better women than men?
Yeah, because they know exactly what a man wants.
You're gonna have to wrap your head around that one. So is it So are men better women than women?
My sister is more manlier than my trans friend. My trans friend is more feminine, more ladylike, more in her feminine aspect of her life
But I
than
don't think-
any like.
A transgender is not more feminine and more
Yeah, also-
woman than I am.
We are talking about physical strength here. Physical appearance, like how nice your skin is, doesn't have to do anything with how you can excel in a sport.
Yeah, my
not
trans
relevant.
friend would never even try to join a sport because she never like wanted to compete like
But I
that.
believe Brian was talking about the muscle mass and the lung capacity.
And I know a large percentage of American men who only play video games can barely do a sit-up, let alone a pull-up. And they're
Okay,
tech
hold
people.
on.
Can you
Look,
do a sit-up or a
I
pull-up?
don't know what we're talking.
Yes, I can. I
I
was
know.
a gymnast for
It's
most
all
of my
over
life.
the
I don't know
I'm
what
a
we're
burlesque
talking
dancer,
about
I do
right
aerial
now.
I think we're just going on
We
some
gotta
tangents.
stop.
I don't know what the fuck we're talking about either. I don't know what they're talking about. I think I know what I'm talking about. But my thing is this though. So what that there's men who don't equate to what, stronger and more, they don't equate. There are always going to be men, right? When it comes to being athletic, when it comes to being even in the military, when it comes to being combat ready, right? That's why Donald Trump was throwing out the fat people, right? Throwing out them fat motherfuckers because there's no place for overweight, unhealthy, you can't really do shit physically. You can't even pass PT test type motherfuckers in our military. There's not. So who cares if there's dudes who don't meet the standard of the type of man that they're talking about in this? The reality is, though, is if you get a man who sits around all day, doesn't do shit, and you get a woman who sits around, doesn't do shit all day, most likely that man is still going to be stronger and more capable of doing whatever minimal capabilities that they're trying to accomplish. Like, it's just, what are you going to compare a woman who's excelling athletically to a man who doesn't do shit? I mean, then yeah, that's how big the gap would have to be to make this comparison. So then that just proves the point even more.
Here's what we have to do though. We can't always go to the exception. I'm gonna sit here and agree
Exactly.
with you.
Exactly.
There are definitely individual women who are way stronger than men who could beat up men. But what I'm talking about is, if we're just talking about generalities, the majority of men are stronger than the majority of women.
Yeah.
It's biology.
So yes, is there are there women out there who are stronger?
If you
There's
pulled
women
12
there's women who are
students
stronger than me.
off the street and asked them to do a fitness test, do I think that women might perform better than men currently? Possibly. As in, if you pull 12 random people, 6 men, 6 women, and ask them to do a fitness test, I've met a lot of out-of-shape men recently. So I'm saying I think women take care of themselves in their
Oh my God,
youth
bro.
because they know that they're supposed to be attractive for men.
boy.
And there's a lot of men
I'm gonna
that
let the
have gone
video
into
roll.
very
I'm
lazy
gonna let it roll.
professions where physical work isn't part of
Wait,
what
sorry,
they do.
somebody over here wanted to weigh in, or?
I just wanted to say something quickly. I think that Brian is pointing at, this side is pointing at exceptions to the rule. But in general.
Oh, no, but you're
let's
in
say
there
the
too.
coal
Don't be
mines.
trying to
Today, not
get out of the
time before.
picture.
If we have today the coal mines, like back then, and we have.
Today or back then?
Let's say today. Let's say today because I'm not going to talk about.
So the coal mines in
no,
2025.
Yes, no, I'm not talking about like values. I'm talking about strength.
Okay.
Let's say today you put a man, a 30-year-old man and a 30-year-old woman, healthy, without exceptions, 100% healthy, to go work at the coal mines. Let's see how many buckets of coal the men can bring out in 2 hours and how many buckets of coal can the woman bring.
Depends if they were taught how to work the machine.
No, that's what I'm saying. From zero, they just learn, healthy. The man is going to do more because it's biologically proven, scientifically proven. If I am the owner of that mine, I'm going to pay more than man because he brings 30 buckets and the woman brings 25 maybe. And I think that's
It wouldn't
the
even be that
difference.
close.
It's not because the man is better. It's scientifically, biologically, it is what it is. So he's going to get paid better. Now, as a work as a woman, nothing comes to my mind that a woman is better doing it. I don't know. I have to think about it. Maybe the woman is getting paid better, but I don't see that as being underestimated. It's who gives more, who works better.
I think we're talking about the third variable. As I minored in sociology, you need 3 variables to be able to judge someone. So you can't just judge someone on man, woman, and their job. You need a third variable,
What's the third variable?
like race, class, and gender. You can't just judge someone off race and class.
Wait.
You need 3
what?
variables to draw a conclusion. Minimum.
But hold on, why would you need? Okay, if the question
As in
is
stereotypes in America.
but stereotype. If the question is
We're stereotyping
who is
who's
physically stronger on average, men or women, what would the third variable? Like, what's the third variable needed to
Do they
determine
work out?
that?
Do they not work
Okay,
out?
so let's
An
say
obese
No.
man versus a fit man.
it would-
Wait, let's
A
say
tall man
let's
versus a
say
short
that
man.
a man and a woman are twins. They're born at the same time. They work out. They have the same eating schedule, same workout schedule. The man is going to get stronger than the woman. That is true
and that-
because
Yes.
of biology.
She's correct.
However, does that mean that a woman is less than the man? No.
That's not what we're that's not
Okay,
what we're
okay.
talking about, though.
Okay.
Hey, that's the video. Hey, look, she almost came to light in the end there, the chick in the maroon. She almost came to light there. She was starting to, the other bitches started to become so delusional that were next to her that she actually started to kind of see reality just a little bit. But then she went back to does that mean we're not good enough? Nobody was discussing that at all. There was never even a topic in this clip, so as far as I can see. The thing that baffles me though is that you can see the biases and their opinions are rooted in their biases, right? So the one chick was all okay to sit there and accept that men and men and women are different, and women are, men are superior to women when it comes to strength, like physical strength and athletics, right? But as soon as trans came in there, she couldn't have it no more. She had to stake her claim, right? So, and then they kind of brushed past it, and then she brought it back to that topic. So you can already tell what she was talking about. Listen, this doesn't. I don't even need to dig into this. This doesn't need to go any further. Okay, it's very fucking clear that biology has already told us how this works, right? Men on average are stronger than women and just better athletically and when it comes to things like that, right? Physical things. Them trying to point out these anomalies, like she's like, well, I've seen some unfit men lately. Yeah, and I've seen some fat ass bitches lately too. So what the fuck is your point? What's your point? You know what I'd like to do? I'd like to take a fat ass couple, a fat fucking woman and a fat fucking man, and I would love to put them in like just a mini type of like athletical type, course or whatever. And I'd like to see how that turns out. I really would. I might have to put this together because I got to see this shit. Because this whole pointing out anomalies, like, well, let me find the highest standard athletically when it comes to a woman, and let me find the lowest standard when it comes to man, and look at the difference. There's a difference. You see how she's superior? Yeah, because she had to dedicate her fucking life to get there, and he doesn't do shit. What is your point? Anyway, y'all, before I have a damn brain aneurysm, that's my time. And until next time, y'all, peace out.